So the second piece of content that we've prepared for you is called blog promotion. And there's a problem that I see with blog promotion. And actually, someone on this call, Amy Schmidtauer, wakingupamy.com. Please check her out. She's amazing. We talked about this a little bit. I think the number one issue is people give up on their blog posts way too early. And let me explain. In this industry where everyone creates content, right? You've got, the big boys, the Chris Brogans, the Scott Strattons, the Jay Bears that create content almost every day. And then you've got, the medium guys, that are creating content. And then you just have the horrible people creating average content and just spamming it out there. There's a lot to digest. So especially if you're a content creator, you feel pressured to always be making something new. I mean, we feel it. I mean, we make something good, and then 5 minutes after I post it, what am I saying? All right, what's next? But I think we need to slow down, because if we are more efficient at promoting our content, I think that we'll see a better result from it. So I've come up with something that I call the 30-day promotion cycle. I think every blog post that you write, every video blog, for you video bloggers, every podcast needs to be promoted for at least 30 days. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, it gives people a chance to see it in as many timelines, formats as possible. You have to understand that your blog title probably doesn't resonate with every human being on the planet, right? You have to realize that, the hashtag you use or the time that you post it, you may only catch 1 to 5% of the people on at that time. So you need to post it more. And also you want to give it a lifespan that's longer than the internet's attention span. In fact, try to remember a blog post that you read 2 weeks ago. You can't, unless it was spectacular, right? Try to remember a blog post you read Monday. The internet's attention span is really short. So you can promote your stuff a lot longer than you think, because people don't remember it, especially if you do a few things. So I'm going to make a couple of suggestions, and these are just suggestions. But this will help you, and it'll help you kind of settle down, so you don't feel like you have to come up with the great American novel every single day for the next 3 years to become a popular blogger or an efficient content creator. So the first thing I recommend is that if you're going to do this, you need to have a news feed stream for your business, and you need to have a conversation stream for yourself.
Should we pull up and show them what we mean?
Sure.
We're talking about.
Sure. All right, so let me show you what we're talking about. So let's go to, and I'm going to mainly be talking about Twitter here. Twitter.com/
Just tell Raven we didn't forget about our question. We're going to answer in the next question section.
Raven, we didn't forget about your question. I was just told to tell you.
We'll answer the next section.
Okay. All right, so this is an example of our news stream for Social Talk Live. If you look at this, there's very little conversation here. Hey, we're talking to Dara. That was awesome. Now, this particular stream, February 1st is actually when we're going to start promoting all this stuff. So you guys are kind of like pre-launch for us. But you'll see a lot of information here, right? Not a lot of conversation. Contrast that to, my personal Twitter. I have no clue what you're about to see here, so let me apologize in advance. And you'll see it's almost all at replies, right? And the reason that is because this is the account I use to connect people and to build relationships. And I want to separate them, because when you start talking to people, what you don't understand is, well, I hope you understand it. Twitter, it works in a chronological sense. So if you post an amazing article, if you talk to 5 people, no one ever sees that article again, because it's pushed down to the bottom of your feed. So that's why we separate the news stream from the conversation stream, because if you get involved in something like a Twitter chat, which I know Miss Sai does not approve of, but I do. I think they're amazing. I may explain it later on for you guys. You're going to be talking maybe 100 tweets an hour if you're really into it, if it's a huge one like blog chat. Did you guys know that you can go to Twitter jail if you post more than 100 tweets an hour? They'll disable your account. Just something random I wanted to add to you guys. So you can always filter your own articles or refer to your own articles from your news feed. So what we do sometimes is we will @reply or we'll retweet one of our own articles from Social Talk Live on our personal profile if I wanted to promote it there. So But if you do it the right way and you're talking a lot, then it's going to get pushed down. So here's what I want you to do. Here's how you use a 30-day promotion cycle. When you create a blog or a piece of content, I am going to assume it is amazing because you are all amazing and you all create amazing content, right? Right. So I want you to create up to 20 titles, okay? Now when I say titles, I mean 3 different types of headers for your article. So the first type is a title. So you just call the entire thing. It's kind of like a thesis statement for the entire blog.
Oh, you should write that up. That would be better.
Oh, okay. So there you go. Yeah, I get to write. All right. So 3 types of titles.
Can everyone see this? Just make sure.
I hope so.
Just ask a question. Should everybody see it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They can see it. 3 types of titles. Okay. So the first is kind of like what you call the thesis. So it's just the title of your blog. Like the one Friday was why the like button is ruining your fan page, right? It should be something catchy, something that grabs someone's attention. And then the second type is a quote. Take some type of quote from the article and use it as a lead-in to the article. And then the third type is what we call bait. And this is a statement that isn't really in the article at all, but it's just kind of it's a statement that you pretty much just use to get people's attention.
Yeah.
Like 5 things that can murder you. Like, you know what? You know who does this really well? The nighttime news. Find out which household chemical can murder your children in their sleep.
Or tabloid magazines.
News at 11.
Or tabloid magazines.
Right.
Like Star.
Exactly.
Us Weekly or something.
Yeah. So that's what we call a bait. And you can make up those 3 types, but find up to 20 of them. Now, you don't have to have 20. You can do this with 5 different and just rotate them because, like I said, the Internet's attention span, especially Twitter, it moves so quickly, is very short. So you come up with these titles. That's the first step. And I use Excel or Microsoft Word tables to kind of organize this stuff. So I come up with the titles, and I rotate those. You need to register for a bit.ly or whatever URL shortener you need, because there's been some talk that the .ly shorteners are on their way out. I haven't heard any updates about that.
There hasn't been any issues as of late.
Okay. So as of now, I still recommend bit.ly because they're very easy to use. And that just takes whatever that long link is for your piece of content and shortens it to maybe 10 characters or less. And you can add it anywhere. And it gives you better analytics to track your you guys saw this my first time? bit.ly. It's a URL shortener.
Bit.ly.
Yep.
I'll say everybody a link to.
There it is. Okay. Cool. So bit.ly's a URL shortener. I'm going to highlight it just because I like to draw. Okay. And then, so you've got your titles, you've got your URL shortener. Now, here's what no one does. You need to target 20 real people and add them to your tweet. So the reason this is important is because if you're not creating content that speaks to a specific person, I would argue that you don't need to be creating that content. So what this will do is it'll keep you in check. It'll stop you from just writing stuff that you like and that doesn't address the needs of any of your customers. So what I do is I use a tool like Listorious. Oh, this is my my tablet PC, and this is just Windows Journal. So what is is.gd? Okay.
Is that another
URL shortener, Raven? All right, we'll get back to that. The reason, so like I said, I use Listorious, which is a tool that where people have put people in Twitter lists, or I use my favorite is Tweet Search, and this is really cool. Tweet Search is a tool that allows you to search the bio of every person on Twitter. So if I call myself a social media manager and I type social media manager in Tweet Search, it will list me. And you can imagine how this can be used for finding a target market. So then you find the person on Twitter, and then you follow their link, and then you find their link on Facebook. It's one of the most amazing tools ever. You can also geo-target. So I think if you hit like your city, go to Tweet Search. It'll walk you through how to do all of that stuff. So these are the 2 tools I use to find the person. And I just asked them for their feedback. What do they think about this article? Because people respond to @replies, right? And if you want to be really strategic, let these be people that you want to do JV deals with or you want to partner with, right? So step 1, create 20 titles. Step 2, create a unique bit.ly URL. Step 3, find up to 20 real people and add them to the tweet. Step 4, find 5 relevant hashtags. Now, I know Cy won't like this, but I'm going to have you Google something. It's called Twitter chat list. And if you Google that, the first link will be a spreadsheet of all of the Twitter chats that exist. And they all have hashtags, and they all have scheduled times. They all have scheduled times that they're on. And what I want you to do is now find whatever hashtag is associated with your industry and add that to the end of your tweet. So your tweet should have a few different elements. It should have whatever title you have, and it should be as short as possible so people can retweet it. Whatever title you have, your bit.ly URL, the @reply, and asking for feedback of your person, and a hashtag. And then you should still have about 20 characters left for someone to retweet this link. And then the schedule that we suggest you use is for the first 2 weeks, 3-3-2-2. So 3 times a day, the first day, 3 times a day, the third day, 2 times a day, the 5th, and 2 times a day, the 7th day of the week. And you could switch this up however you want. This is just what we're going to use. And then the second 2 weeks, I just use a 2-2-1-1 because and that's 2 the first day, 2 the third day, 1 the 7th day, and 1 the 5th day. And dyslexia maybe switch that up, but don't judge me. And the reason we do that is because the second 2 weeks you want to taper it off because you're going to have more and more content that you create. So if you look at your newsfeed, you might be running through 50 to 100 tweets a day, but every one of those tweets is going to land in one specific person's inbox, and they may share it. So think of how it's going to spread. Every single one of those tweets is going to be associated with a hashtag that you know people frequent because there's a Twitter chat around it. And if you're really ninja, then you would schedule that tweet to show up during that Twitter chat. But you didn't hear that from me. I'm just saying.